the previously promised review of 3 Days Grace concert we saw last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good. Good night, everybody.
The end.
Yes. Now, I want to say that we saw a band last night that we've now seen twice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 3 Days
A
Grace.
band that we don't follow.
We may start, though.
A lot better this time.
So, we went to Spokane during the summer. And we saw, that was the Five Finger concert.
Yes.
And Bad Wolves was the opening act for that one. And they were loud
awful.
and you couldn't hear anything. And it was just, it was bad. I couldn't hear what was being sung. I couldn't hear the guitar. Nothing. It was just a wall of noise.
It was one of those concerts where they have the balance off. And it's so loud, you can't actually distinguish the song. So I knew Zombie. And I actually knew one of the other songs. But I couldn't even... Like, Zombie I could kind of hear, I think, because there was enough other people singing with it.
Yeah.
But the other song, I forget what it's called right now. You couldn't even distinguish the song.
True.
It was terrible, and it just made it where your ears hurt, and you're just, okay, well, I hope they're over soon. And the whole time I'm thinking, I hope Five Finger won't be this bad.
They weren't.
They weren't. It's like each band had their own sound all set up.
So last night, Bad Wolves comes out first, and they were fantastic.
They were really
It
good.
sounded great.
Yeah.
I could clearly hear each song. I did not come out of last night's concert with my ears ringing.
Yeah.
We came out of that Five Finger concert, my ears rang for days.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. This was really, really good. They had a good set. I think it was the exact same set that we watched in Spokane.
It was either the exact same or very, very similar.
Because even the towel spinning thing, he did that in Spokane.
Yes. Well, that's
the phone. You know, everybody show me your phones and light up your whatever. They did that in Spokane. It felt like it was the same. Just this time, we could identify the songs and we could identify the different songs, and it sounded really good.
Yeah.
But now that I've listened to them live as a set list, they sound almost exactly like Five Finger Death Punch.
Well,
they're pretty darn close.
The style's different, but it's
the
similar.
vocals, the guitar, it sounds very, very similar.
Yes.
So I enjoyed that much better this time. And then we had a short intermission.
Yeah.
By concert standards,
nice.
it was a short intermission.
It was not very long between bands. It was
like 15
fantastic.
minutes. 15 minutes. And Nothing More came out, and they were different.
They were. The guy comes out topless, and he doesn't have any shoes on, and he had really tight pants on. Kind of threw me off.
It was a 70s throwback.
Yeah.
That whole performance, and he even had the fro from the old 70s kind of bands.
Yes.
Nothing More.
And he danced like Gavin from Bush.
He did. He almost went full Gavin. He had those moments. But they were kind of fun.
They were.
The set list probably went a little bit long for my liking.
But I knew that before we went in because you showed me what they had played before and remember me saying, it's kind of long.
Yeah, they had it. Bad Wolves plays 7 songs. Nothing More plays 10. And they were well received by the band, but I didn't think, or by the fans, I didn't think the crowd was as engaged with them as they were with Bad Wolves.
No, but there were some people up front that really, really liked them, and you could see they knew all of the songs and they knew everything about them.
And again, they sounded good.
I did know a few of the songs, but again,
yeah, I recognized a couple. There were a couple that I recognized.
I
think maybe WWE's used a couple of their songs. I know 3 Days Grace, there were a bunch of them. I'm like, yeah, they've used that one for pay-per-views. But they do. There's a lot of 3 Days Grace songs that get used for wrestling. Tons. Because their songs are aggressive. And yet they're aggressive without being coarse. So it's not like you have to censor every second word or whatever.
Right.
So, but yeah, Nothing More. I enjoyed them. They were okay.
They were interesting. I liked their weird thingy they made, the sound. I don't know what you would call it.
She's explaining it really well.
What
I don't know what you call it
this
either.
Thing? It reminded me of Blue Man Group.
Because you hook up your guitar to it and then it changes the sound completely.
They hooked up like an acoustic guitar to it.
When they had both guitarists playing it at the same time.
And then they had drumsticks on the guitar. It made it sound very... like a metallic sound.
Yeah, it was really
very
fun.
different. And then at the end of the concert, like the singer got on it and it raised up and
I was worried it was going to topple. One point I was like,
it was shaking.
I was like, it's gonna go right over.
Right.
Abbotsford, we almost killed the lead singer of Papa Roach at our first date.
Yes.
So I still worry that Abbotsford's going to be the demise of some singer somewhere, and we're going to be infamous for all the wrong reasons. But
the weird music thing, he was able to, like, he moved some gears and it made weird sounds like the theremin.
Yeah, I was waiting for the full Star Trek.
It sounded a lot like it, except for he was touching it. Yeah,
I was waiting for the Star Trek theme. I thought the Star Trek theme in that moment. And it had a mic,
and the mic did really bizarre things to his voice, too.
Yes.
But, yeah, it reminded me of Blue Man Group.
But again, and that seemed very 70s, just the amount of distortion, deconstruction of the music. See, that's something you can pull from Zeppelin without sounding like Zeppelin. Like another band sounds like Zeppelin. Certain band that sounds exactly like Zeppelin. So, in between, they played Ramble On, and I told her, I said, hey, this is the actual Zeppelin. The actual Zeppelin.
Between between Bad Wolves and, what's the name?
Nothing More.
Nothing More, there you go. They played terrible music. It wasn't even similar style.
But then between Nothing More and 3 Days Grace,
they went back to
they played some Rammstein, and I gotta say, when I could sing all the words to Benzene, and I know I'm the only one in the building who probably knows all the words to Benzene, that makes me happy. I was quite happy. What?
You're a dork.
Schwimmen in Benzene.
Okay, anyways.
It was great. And then, before 3 Days Grace comes out, they play Living on a Prayer.
Yes,
and the whole crowd singing along.
People that knew all the words to that song.
I may know a couple of words.
Shannon knew all of the words.
I was singing it to her.
He absolutely was. But you could see a lot of people on the floor also knew all the words.
And then when you get to, whoa, you gotta throw your arms in the air.
It's not like we were old for the group. For the concert.
Not where we were sitting.
Right, but even on the floor, there were some younger people, of course.
Yes.
But we were not... We've been to some concerts that were kind of the older ones there.
You noticed...
This one we definitely weren't.
You noticed with Bad Wolves when it was, guys, put your girlfriends up on your shoulders. That was when all the young girls showed up. People our age are like, nah.
Not gonna happen.
Nope. No. I'd hurt my back. I don't want to tell the boss why I'm not coming in tomorrow. I really enjoyed the Living on a Prayer setup for 3 Days Grace. I thought that was fantastic.
But that's where I think you could really tell that it wasn't a really young crowd, because so many people knew all of the words.
That's the thing, though, because they play it at every sporting event, too. And if you've noticed, when we're at Canuck games, everybody knows the words.
A majority of that song.
No, they didn't. They only went to the guitar solo.
It was a lot.
No, because there's another bridge in there, too. I really wanted to show you I knew that bridge. Yes, there's another chorus after. And there's another bridge after. And it's this great, and I can do the fist pumps again.
I'm sure you can. I have no
doubt.
And
then the clapping part, they didn't play it up to the clapping part.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Living on a Prayer is an amazing song.
Pass.
I may have listened to Slippery When Wet a lot when I had it. I had the record.
So not surprised.
But my mother had to go through Slippery When Wet when I got it, and she had to actually read the lyrics to make sure I was allowed to have it. Because she heard about the song Social Disease, which is all about VD. So she had to make sure it was okay for me to listen to it. And I'm like, what? There's no swearing in it or anything. And then she's like, yeah, no, it's fine. I'm the cool mom. I'll let you listen to that. And I was like, what?
I don't even know
Thanks.
What you're talking about, but...
Because she bought it for me. So it was really weird that she bought it for me.
And then
took it to check the liner notes and check all the lyrics and make sure I was allowed to have it after she gave it to me. But turned out it was okay. And Social Disease was a song that wasn't even released anyways. It wouldn't have got any press at all other than Phil Donahue standing there. Oh, we got this song and it's kind of concerning. Whatever. But yeah, that was a great setup for 3 Days Grace.
Yeah,
which was fun. This is the first concert. I think this is the first concert we've gone to where we both love the band.
That could be.
Like that we equally love the band. I mean, Bush is close.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, Bush.
But the headliners for that concert was the
like
Cult.
Different bands. I like
and
Bush
I
and
like the Cult more than you like the Cult.
Right. So it kind of evened out.
It kind of evened out.
Bush was way cooler.
It kind of evened out during the concert where the Cult just didn't seem to want to be there either.
And Bush was amazing.
Bush was much, much better.
It was so fun. That was a fun one too.
Just because of Gavin dancing.
That was awesome.
Made it hilarious.
Yes.
But yeah. 3 Days Grace plays all the hits. There's 19 songs in the playlist. The playlist that I was reading, there were 17 songs and then an encore. That's not an encore.
No,
they
that
stopped
was not
playing
an encore.
for 30 seconds.
Yes, they just like went around the stage and then they came back out. But they didn't even do the thanks.
They didn't bring the house lights up. They didn't.
They didn't do any of that. So
why? Like Rammstein knows how to do an encore. The crowd was leaving, and Rammstein comes back out while I'm yelling, "Where are you people going? They're not done." And then they do it twice. That's the funny thing. They do it twice. So real hardcore Rammstein fans are just standing there shaking their heads and yelling at everybody else like they're not finished. Stop this madness. Oh, I guess they're done. They're not done. The shooting the foam all over people is not the ending of the concert. That's the ending of the main set. So that what they did last night was not an encore. For me,
No.
that's just they take a moment. And they did that a few times. It was maybe it's because where we were sitting, but it felt like it was really obvious when they were doing the water breaks. More so than at other concerts, but
could be.
We had seats that were right next to the stage,
Yeah.
So maybe we could see things that we otherwise couldn't.
I also wonder if it's because of where we are. Not where our seats are, but because we're, near Vancouver. They're Canadian. Maybe they were more relaxed because he talked a lot for a concert. He talked a lot more just talking to the crowd.
We need to see Slipknot. You want to see somebody talk to the crowd, we got to go to Slipknot.
Than most concerts.
Yeah.
And they joked around and stuff more than most concerts. Now, I've never seen them because the last time we had tickets for them, they got canceled.
That was during the summer.
Sad.
That was Avenged Sevenfold.
Yes, that would have been an amazing
The whole thing got
concert.
canceled. That would have been great. Now that I've seen 3 Days Grace, that would have been great.
But then with Avenged Sevenfold, that's like perfect.
My goal is to eventually hear the stage live. That song would be amazing live.
That would be awesome.
But yeah,
so I don't know if they're normally like that, but they were very, very relaxed and just talked a lot. And
yeah, it was.
He wandered around and didn't have anybody chasing him. Usually they have one or two guys that chase.
Like Gavin did.
Yes. That was so funny. The security guard's trying to chase Gavin, and he's going through the seats and stuff. That was so funny.
I couldn't keep up. Get somebody with really good cardio to do that.
But he didn't have anybody follow him at all, which was kind of funny.
The one thing I noticed was the bands had to keep trying to get people to mosh, and it just didn't quite work.
No.
There wasn't quite the right amount of teenage kids to make it work.
They were really calm. I was actually noticing that.
Because I would watch, and they'd start, and then a bunch of them would just peel out.
There's the group of guys that are just ridiculous on the floor. There's always
So they'd start the circle thing, but then a bunch would just swirl out.
Yeah, and they're just like, okay, you guys can go over there. And it'd calm down.
Yeah, it would die down.
But
Take about 30 seconds, it would die down.
There was only one person that got pulled over. One. And then, remember, he jumped back in?
That was hilarious.
That's a very small number.
He fell over the barricade. None of the security guys even noticed he was there, and he jumped right back into the crowd. It's because it was at the
very beginning of 3 Days Grace set, so they had all the photographers up still, and he came out right in the middle where all the photographers are. So they only had 4 security guards by the stage, which is not very many at all.
No, not compared to
But they had like 4 cameramen, and the security guard was pushed all the way against the stage. So he couldn't have even got to them if he wanted to. Because I almost hit a cameraman.
Yeah, I thought he was going to kill a cameraman. I thought, he's going to land on the camera guy, and we're going to...
him in the head.
Yeah, this is going to be...
And then the guy just jumped back in.
Yeah.
Oh, those poor people in there. Yeah. Somebody probably did.
But yeah, the crowd surfing, he was the only one that crowd surfed the whole night.
Which is not, usually
it was
it's a lot
really...
more. Or there's usually at least some girls that have to be pulled out because they're being smashed.
Yeah, that really wasn't happening either. I was watching the railing because we were ahead of the railing. And I didn't see anybody in any kind of distress or need to get pulled out. So it was a good crowd. It was a very well behaved crowd. I'll admit we didn't stand up all night.
No, we didn't.
I didn't stand up because I didn't get the feeling the people behind us wanted to stand up. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to stay sitting.
And there was nobody in front of us.
No, and there really wasn't a need for us to stand up, and it's not really like 3 Days Grace is kind of headbanging music, but they're more rock than headbanging music. Like, if it's Rammstein, I don't care if you want to stand up or not. I'm getting up. If it's Tool, we're getting up. But anybody that tries sitting at a Tool concert is probably going to get a dirty look.
We need to see Tool.
We absolutely have to see Tool.
I'm really hoping when they come out with a new album that they'll go on tour like
So
a few
we
times.
will never see Tool.
It's gonna happen. Shane.
Rammstein is supposed to have a new album coming out in the spring, and I tell you, if they were lying in interviews, if Richard was lying, Richard, I will find you and try to get your autograph because you're awesome. I could never be angry with Richard. He's just so dreamy. But you know, it's yeah, it's going to be a good year, I think, next year. Because if Rammstein does release the new album in 2019, there should be a tour that follows that. And Tool is on tour of Europe in the summer, so hopefully after that's over in the fall, they'll tour North America. So if we could see Rammstein and Tool next year, I can show you why Rammstein is the best.
Be amazing.
I can show you why Rammstein is the best live. There's nothing in the world like it. That's one thing I'll say with 3 Days Grace too. This is a band that I was really impressed with live. I really enjoyed it. They interacted very well with the crowd.
Yeah.
And there was no pyro. There was no big special effects. There was the videos that would play during their songs. But they don't really have all the bells and whistles that some of the other bands have, and they don't need it.
No.
Very enjoyable.
One of the, not the security guards, so there's the security guards, but then there's the safety guy. I don't know what his job was, but it looked like the security guards aren't allowed to touch any of the equipment. But then there was the security guard in the vest.
Yeah. I think he's one of the roadies.
Maybe. But they kept it wasn't just 3 Days Grace, but the other singers as well, putting their foot on the speakers on the front of the stage, and some of them were sliding up. And so one of the security guards kept pointing out, because he wouldn't push the speaker back on the stage. That's why I thought maybe they can't even touch it. And so he eventually came around with like this duct tape and rolled it and put it under all the speakers, trying to make sure they weren't going to move.
Well, and then there was the stage that almost fell apart. So you've got the regular stage where they are, and then you've got the raised area where, of course, you've got your ramp going up to the raised area. And when the one guitarist was going up there,
it's a piece. So it has the stage, and then there's a ramp, and there was a corner. No, it fell down.
Not completely. Not completely.
No.
But then what threw me off was that while he was fixing it, while the guy's up there trying to fix it, the lead singer jumps up on it. And I'm like, oh, what is he?
They had two guys holding it.
Like I understand that.
Ended up taking a picture right then. There's the two guys are trying to get it in place, and they're holding it as he's walking on it.
I know, but I was nervous in that moment. Like, again, Abbotsford eventually is going to cause physical harm to another singer. And I don't want to be a witness to that. So let's not see that tonight. But it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed 3 Days Grace. I would absolutely see them again.
Yeah.
I think, I Hate Everything About You is still their signature song. But Animal I've Become, I think, got a bigger crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Just like You got a huge crowd reaction as well. And Break. Break is fantastic.
Yeah, they have a lot
Break
of
is
really
fantastic.
fun songs.
And then when they ended off with Riot.
Yes, that was awesome. I was really
She
hoping
was
they
so
would do that
happy that they did Riot. The funny thing is, of course, I looked at the song list before we went. I always look at set lists before I go, so I have an idea of how long a concert's going to be and which songs they're going to play, so I won't be too disappointed. Like, Passive. Perfect Circle song. They didn't play it in Vancouver. It was heartbreaking. But with this set, it was beat for beat the same as the one they did in Lethbridge a few days ago. And yeah, this was absolutely fantastic. I did notice that some of the people around us clearly don't have the new albums because they didn't know the songs. If it was from 1X or if it was from Outsider, they didn't know the songs.
They also left early.
Yes.
There was a bunch of people that left early.
But that's not that unusual. I think what happened, I think the last song was Riot. And I think there were people that said, well, I don't really know this song or really like it, so let's go over to the car.
There was like 6 people in the row right in front of us that were just, it wasn't even just one group. There was the 2 ladies that left.
Yep.
They're just like walking out.
Well, because again,
there was another lady, and then there was the group. It was like, really,
they want to beat traffic.
It's Abbotsford. The traffic's not that bad.
They want to beat traffic. Or they wanted to go out and buy a shirt.
The only traffic came. It's Abbotsford. Abbotsford's not huge. The only traffic is getting out of the parking lot. Once you're out of the parking lot, there's no traffic.
But if you get out early, you can get out of the parking lot without any problem. But again, they may have wanted to get shirts, maybe consume another beverage, another $10 beer. Maybe they wanted that kind of thing.
But see, I wanted to get a shirt, and so all I did was right after Bad Wolves,
as
soon as Bad Wolves the song was done, I got up and went there, and there was no line, and I was the first one.
It was a fun shirt, and it was right. I bought this right after telling you I didn't need another shirt.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need another t-shirt. I have way too many t-shirts. I don't need another one. And then I saw this one, and I was like, yeah, I want a tour shirt. That looks kind of fantastic. And it does. It's a fun little shirt. But there you go. Do we want to scale it?
No, it was awesome.
Yes.
It was on the scale of awesome.
Yes.
That was a really fun one. We've been to some fun concerts.
This might be my favorite.
We've been to some concerts that were just like, it was okay. This one was really fun.
This might be my favorite from front to back. Now, when we saw the Dead and Hailstorm,
that one was really fun,
great.
But
Stone Sour killed it. Yeah. So
they had the bad volume problem as well.
And it's just yeah.
It kills it.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Makes it so you can't really recognize the songs.
Yeah. And so that concert would have been number one if we'd left after Hailstorm was done. But because Lizzie Hale can impregnate people with her voice. That's the thing.
You're such a dork.
She absolutely can. She has an amazing voice that impregnates people from a distance, from like 100 feet.
Our first date concert, that one was pretty awesome.
It was
Papa Roach.
Yeah.
And Ashes to New.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
We'll pretend 3 a.m. didn't happen. And Five Finger Death Punch. Fantastic.
But 3 a.m. was really what brought us together.
It is, because we were both laughing
that was when we went from just two people out watching a concert to being there together and bonding over this experience.
And how ridiculous it was. And oh, dear Lord, they're talking about church and the devil. And oh, this is so...
It was very 80s.
Stereotypical.
Very 80s. Very, very 80s.
Stupid hair metal. The girls.
See, and that's a gateway.
So dumb.
That's a gateway to a band sounding exactly like Zeppelin. People going, that's okay. It's okay. They're good kids.
That was terrible.
They're good kids.
But
so
anyways,
they sound exactly like Zeppelin.
That was a really fun concert.
It's fine.
And that, yeah. Those three bands were fantastic.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That was a really good one.
Absolutely. So there you go.
You might have liked it better maybe if you knew Five Finger a little bit more then. I think your knowledge of Five Finger songs is great.
I have a lot of knowledge of Five Finger songs. I'm not really a huge Five Finger fan. I know you are.
Yep, they're awesome.
That's your thing. And sometimes I intentionally put their music on for you.
Because it's awesome.
Well, anyways. And someday you'll take me to a Bon Jovi concert.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that'll happen.
That would be terrible.
No, wouldn't I sing every song to you? Be great. Especially Wanted, Dead or Alive. I can really bellow that one.
And I don't even know these songs.
You know Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Maybe if I heard it.
Because I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride.
That one's terrible. Do you actually like that song?
Okay.
Like, really? That song's awful. I really don't like them. They'd probably have terrible opening bands for them, too.
They had Skid Row the one year they came to Vancouver, and everybody learned who Skid Row was. And they're a Canadian metal band.
I recognize the name.
They did Youth Gone Wild and 18 in Life. 18 in Life, you've got it. 18 in Life to go. Your Crime is Time, and it's 18. Really? Nothing?
I don't think you're singing it right. Sorry.
She kept the motor running. Nothing? It's not nothing?
No.
Accidents will happen. Nothing?
No.
Well, Youth Gone Wild.
I don't know.
I'm a problem. No, nothing?
I'm terrible with knowing titles of songs because I don't care.
I can't believe that you have never heard 18 in Life.
I'm not saying I haven't heard it. I just
You're
can't
gonna
tell
hear
the
it.
song.
I'm gonna play it for you.
See, and that's the trouble. When we do these, you're reminded of songs, and then you play them for me to see if I really don't like it.
Because they're great.
I'm like, no, yeah, that's crap.
They're great.
I don't know about that.
The opening acts for Bon Jovi are usually pretty solid. I think Tesla opened for Bon Jovi too.
Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with Tesla?
Nothing.
You understand that if Tesla comes back to Vancouver, we are going to see them.
You have told me.
We are going to go and see them, and I'm going to sing along
Aren't
to
they
Hangin' Tough
really
and everything.
old now, though? Hangin' Tough.
No. No.
I know that drives them crazy, so.
When Tesla... Stop it. Tesla came out with the Great Radio Controversy, and I had discovered them through Mechanical Resonance. So Great Radio Controversy comes out. I buy the album. My favorite song on that album was Hang Tough. Hang Tough. At the same time, the New Kids on the Block...
Another crappy band.
No, stop that. That's why I did that before I said it. New Kids on the Block come out with Hangin' Tough. So people ask me what my favorite song is, and I say it's Hang Tough. People are like, oh, he likes New Kids. I'm like, no. No, I don't. It's Tesla. And they're like, what's a Tesla? And I'm like, oh, wow. Because at the time, mid-'80s, Tesla was not a well-known name of any sort. There was no car named Tesla. There was no Elon Musk. And so the idea, and the whole idea of there being some kind of controversy between Edison and Tesla, that wasn't a thing. Only Tesla fans seemed to know about it among my age group. And there weren't very many Tesla fans who lived around where I was. So, yeah, that was awful. So, she's being mean to me right now.
Because it's so funny.
It's not funny.
It is, though.
It's not. All right. Yes, but last night...
Comment on how that's funny.
Last night was a very, very, very fun show. And
it was.
Huge thumbs up for them, for the bands, all three bands. Very talented and good and easy to understand them. And yeah, fun show.
Yes. I was worried because we were
Fun
right
show.
by the big Herkin speakers from the ceiling.
Yes. Yes, we were right at the front. And it was nice. We weren't on the floor. We were still in seats, but it was really nice. So there you go.
Yeah, we don't want to sit on the floor.
No.
I did
the
that
floor
once.
is not a place for short, older people.
Yes. I had floor seats at a Tool concert. It didn't go well.
No.
I'm not tall enough.
No.
No. It's bad.
All right. There you go. So thank you guys so much for all your support and for watching. This channel's past 4,800 subscribers.
So weird.
Which is amazing and fun. And thank
weird.
you guys so much for all that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I have got the notes that people want to see more of us doing lists of movies together. So I think we could do a list of the best Friday the 13th movies. Or best Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And we could just do the countdown that way. I think that would be fun.
They all kind of blend together into a blur. Elm Street. Have I watched those?
Yes.
Did I watch one of them? Have I watched more than one of them?
We've watched 4 of them.
Crap.
It's the one with Freddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've watched 4 of them.
Yeah. That's the one with the rebar and the slug thing. And...
No, that's Jason. Okay, now she's just being mean.
It's too easy.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.